Welcome to WS Vibes TV. This is your favorite channel for love, life, and relationship talk. Tune in and let's get started. Hi guys, WS Vibes TV. This is your mom, Wisdom.
Hi guys, this is Sharona.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back guys. We are glad to be doing this video today where we will be discussing on why is it hard to trust in your current relationship. This topic actually was requested by one of our viewers.
Right.
So we decided we were going to, speak on this topic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess I'll go ahead and start the discussion. All right, so basically, if you're having problems in trusting your partner, this is whether you're a female or male, it doesn't matter.
Right.
That first you want to reflect and have a conversation with yourself. Find out, why do you not trust your partner, your spouse, or whatever you refer them to be as? Why don't you trust them? And then after that, you also want to ask yourself, is there any evidence? Is there any evidence to why you don't trust your partner, your spouse? Is it intuition? Is it suspicion? Or is it a false sense of insecurity?
Right.
All right. So once you come to find out what is your reasons for not having trust for your partner, then you want to have a conversation. Yeah. If it's a male, you need to have a conversation with her. If it's a female, you want a conversation with him. If it's same sex, you want to have a conversation. Doesn't matter whoever you're in a committed relationship with, you want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. The finding out the root of the insecurity is important, because sometimes we may caught up into wrong direction, meaning you may be thinking the reason you feel the way you feel is because of maybe the other person or because of whatever, but that may be wrong. The thing is, you need to find the root of the cause. Exactly, the cause of the insecurity.
Right.
A lot of things, there are a lot of things that can cause us to be insecure. Some of it, like you said, our bringing, our background, our where we come from, you understand, our family could cause that. So there are a lot of things that could have gone on in your family, where you come from, that you grow up with that sense of insecurity, and that can reflect. Also, you can carry it on to your relationship when you start to engage yourself in relationship. If it's not dealt with, it will start to show up in your relationship. And your previous relationship too can cause insecurity and trust, and lack of trust.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes we import or we project our past into the present, and that will begin to create tension. It begin to create uneasiness in our present relationship, and issues will begin to stir up because we've not taken time to deal with our past. And for the fact that you face particular issues in the past relationship does not necessarily means it will happen in this, if you have learned your lesson. If you have learned the lesson, because the whole thing is learning lesson. Every relationship, like we'll always say, is a teacher. Every relationship is meant to teach us, either as love relationship or work relationship, any kind of every relationship in this world, in this life, is meant to teach us one or two things.
Right.
Yeah, and that is the things we need to learn. Whichever way the relationship go, either bad or good, you must take time to learn the whatever lesson that relationship is meant to convey to you.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, that is it.
Well, I want to say also, if it requires a third party, like if it requires for counseling to be involved, like you said, sometimes past upbringing, past relationships, you may need to get individual counseling, and then in some cases, you may want to incorporate your partner to be a part of that counseling to to help you through some some things. Now, if there is evidence of why there is distrust, like say if that partner is doing or stepping over boundaries, to causing that distrust, I also recommend that maybe they need to get a third party as well to get some counseling, because sometimes having that third party to how can you say
help you evaluate
help you to evaluate, and also when you're not just like, okay, say for instance, if I'm doing something, stepping over boundaries that's hurting our relationship, and I keep doing that cycle over and over again, and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to change, but I'm never changing. Sometimes having that third party, having them being accountable to that third party, maybe it's hard for me to be accountable to you, because of the familiarity. But sometimes having that third party, that counselor, or somebody you can trust, or a good relationship counselor.
Which ordinary it shouldn't be, but because of the way the world has been structured and the lot of influences here and there is no other person that is worth you opening yourself up to than your partner or your
I know. But sometimes you need
the
that
way
accountability.
things have been structured, and then he said you need the third person in order for you to open up, which is wrong in actuality. But I mean, that is
sometimes the third person is helpful.
Did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said normally it shouldn't have been so. That's not how it's supposed to be, that you need a third party in order for you to open up to your No,
but say if they did open up, but still to resolve, to help in that process of healing, that process of strengthening that relationship, they may need that third party and get some counseling. If they go to a church, they may have an elder or somebody to counsel them, or if you're not a part of a church, you may look up a relationship therapist or something like that. I mean, not everybody can do it on their own. Sometimes people need that third party to be accountable to, so they can check up on them, saying, okay, we discussed this and this and the other. Have you been working on that?
Well, the point issue I'm trying to bring is not that. What I'm saying is that foundation of where you say you cannot open up to your except a third party is involved. Something is wrong straight out there for you not to be able to open up to your each other. Until a third party come in before you open up. Something is already wrong. Hold on. Something is already wrong right there.
Oh, you're just saying if they can't open up to each other?
Yes, until the third party involved.
Yeah.
If that becomes the foundation, that will continually become the foundation, and until a third party get involved before you open up, and that shouldn't be the foundation of relationship. Yeah, but
everybody's evolving in different ways.
At some point, those who cannot handle certain things in their by themselves, and they feel there's need for you to go to a specialist, a therapist who can handle such. But this issue of trust, somebody can only give you some guideline, but the root is still dependent upon you to uproot it. And then sometimes it takes a very deep inner search by yourself to discover the root of everything.
Right.
Exactly. It must take a deep inner search within you to discover it. Is it from my family? Take a look at your family. Is it from my past relationship? Take a look at your past. You understand what I'm saying? That's it.
But what if the person have evidence of why they should not trust that person? What if it has nothing to do with their past relationship? What if that person, the other partner, is doing something, stepping over boundaries?
That's a completely different. Yes, if there is evidence for
boundaries,
suspiciousness, for you to distrust, not to trust somebody. Of course, if I say, okay, with you, and then behind you I chat with some other woman, and then you find out.
Well, if you're chatting with a woman, whereas though it's like going over boundaries, like
going
talking,
over boundaries, chatting with other woman, like a flirtation or some shady, something.
Right.
Of course, I've given you reason to that. This and vice versa, the same thing. I'm giving you reason to suspect. I'm giving you reason to not trust me. You understand? So that is completely different. But what we are saying is, in a situation where such does not exist in your present relationship, there's no reason that have been created in this present relationship for you not to trust, and then you still find yourself not trusting. That is the issue we are dealing with. You understand? In this present relationship, I've not given you reason not to trust me. You've not given me reason not to trust you. But then we are get caught up in ability to trust you. You understand? Such as sometimes I suspect you even when there's nothing to suspect. Sometimes I probably accuse you. You do something like this. Oh, I feel you are doing this even when there's something like that. It's not happening.
Right.
You understand? So in that situation, I am the issue. You understand? Not because you have any reason that something is really going on from your own side. I am the issue. It has to do with my past. It has to do with probably from my family lineage or from my past relationship, or growing up.
Or it can just be the environment. Like,
that's it. Growing up in life and the things. How I've
the
been,
things you've seen on TV,
that is
the
it.
reality
environment
television
in society, and then I've let that now impact on me and shape the way my perception, the way I think and see. So all of this thing put together are the things we have to look into to know why. If we able to trace the root, then we'll be able to deal with it. But the most important thing of all is to live in the present.
Right.
Live in the present.
Live in the moment.
Live in the moment. In your present relationship, live in the present. Live in the present relation, like we were discussing earlier, and I said even the best of relationship that started, that there was no trace of anything could go wrong, But along the line, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years later, 20 years later, and then something come up that leads to separation. You understand? There are some relationship or marriages that they've not abused themselves, they've not had any issue until 20 years, 25 years later, and something come up. Either cheating, either physical abuse or something like, and it would lead to the best thing is to live in the present. Live in the present of your relationship. Not
living in the past.
Is he gonna do this?
Right.
Is this
or
gonna
this happened in my last relationship?
Yes.
Is this gonna happen in this one?
Is he gonna repeat again? Is he not gonna repeat again?
Yeah.
You understand? Right. And that's become the scenario, become the arrangement of your relationship. Tension and issues will constantly come up, because in any relationship where there's no trust, that relationship is as good as dead.
It's dead. Yeah, that's true.
It won't work.
Right. So I want to talk about the dictionary, the Oxford Dictionary definition of trust. And trust means it's a firm belief of reliability, truth, ability, or strength of something or someone, And according to psychologists, they have said that in the past decade, there has been an increased number of couples coming for counseling, relationship counseling. And can you believe that most of the topic in counseling today, in the past decade, has mainly been because of trust issues?
Yeah.
And if you could think about today, why do you think that there's more trust issues ever before? I'm not saying that there's haven't been trust issues in the past, but now because of technology, that has been
become things. People become vulnerable.
more vulnerable.
Become
Couples can be more deceptive now because of technology. We have access to people, even childhood friends, somebody that you might have thought you would never see again because you're in another state and you have Facebook, because Facebook, they give you suggestions. Instagram give you suggested friends. We got cell phones now. Couples can be deleting text messages, they could be deleting pictures, they can have an extra Facebook page that you don't even know about. There is so many deceptive ways nowadays that couples can engage in
unfaithfulness,
be unfaithful. And it can really, technology can bring out what's already in that person, so it's all about boundaries. It's really, couples talking about what are the boundaries. But at the same time, you can't be insecure as well. Like, for instance, you and I, there are times we're watching shows and I'm like, oh, Wiz, oh my gosh, she is so cute. Look at her, her breasts in that outfit. And I don't get insecure because she got hanging cleavage or got big breasts, big butt or whatever. And we'll, and you like, oh yeah, she do look nice. Or no, I don't like that. I don't get insecure. Look, I'm not even a big breasted person. I have a lot of thighs, a lot of hips, and a lot of back. I have a lot of that, but I don't have a lot of breast, and it doesn't make me insecure. That's because I know that he's not lustful, and I can be like, oh babe, he's cute. He got some pretty eyes. I do that, from time to time. And he doesn't get offended. But I think it's because there's no lust. Like, we don't lust after people. You can look at a picture. You can be on Instagram because, people are taking selfies all the time. And some pictures are modest where they're covering up everything, and some pictures aren't. So it really, if you're in a relationship where that other partner is lustful, then that really needs to be dealt with, because then you can't even be on the level and talk like you and I talk.
The openness towards one another is key, to building trust. Like, trust is not something that suddenly happened in one day.
It's a process.
Yeah, exactly. Even in a situation where there's no reason, it's a journey, it's a process, like she said. It takes time, and like
you say, live in the moment,
live in the moment. And then gradually build that trust. And it has to do with also the level of communication you have with each other, the level of openness you have with each other, this degree of things she and I share with. I may probably say it's not common. Like the things, even sometimes.
Because we talk about friends. We're like friends. Like can I say something? Like two females. Like, how us girls, we'll be like, oh, she look nice, or I like that outfit she got on. Oh, she got, look at her breasts. Oh, I talk just like how you talk to your girlfriends, or how men, how y'all men may say, oh, look at that, female, she's hot. You should be able to talk like that with your mate, with your partner.
Different times we share things, very deep heart issues,
even our past.
That some people may probably want to hide it. But we open ourselves up to each other and share those vulnerable, deep things, because in doing so you will be able to help each other.
And you're healing.
You don't you don't judge one another when somebody share. Oh, some may look ugly, some may not be something that you want to hear, but for the fact that both of you have confidence and that openness towards each other to share, it helps.
It helps, exactly.
You understand? If she trust me enough, if she come up to tell me something deep, that ordinarily she shouldn't, want to share, like you
share
want
with
to
this
exactly.
anybody.
That build more trust. It build me okay for her to come up and share this with me, and then I come up with her like, I have a certain feeling. Look at this, and then I share it with her. That would further build trust. That for me to share this, you understand?
Yeah, to me, it's building a bond and an intimacy, even the more in your relationship. So even that person who do have lust issues, they need to be honest with their partner, whether it's the female or the male. Be honest. I have an issue. When I look at this person, I be, in my mind, it's like, oh, I want to get with her, but I need help. Be honest. If you truly are committed and you want to stay with that person for the rest of your life or plan to, then be honest. And then, like I said, if you need a third party, a counseling to help through that process, to air out things, maybe someone used to watch, porn all their lives, and they're just, focused on the lust, the lust factor. So, be honest. Like, if your partner, if you can't be open and talk like how me and Wiz and some other relationships are, then I would say
it's nothing like if you can. That is the solution. They have to come to that point where if you truly want it to work, you must come to that point where you have to open up with each other.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. That openness must be there.
Yeah.
The ability for you to listen to one another. You listen, for you to listen to her feeling, ability for her to listen to my feeling must be there. You must be able to share, that freedom for each other to share your feeling.
Right.
Why you act the way you act. Why you feel you act the way you act. You understand?
Right.
And if you are in a relationship where both of you are insightful, maybe you have deep spiritual insight or ability to see things beyond the surface, that would even help.
Right. Yeah.
And that it has helped us, because when things come up, we don't attack it. First, like, we establish that foundation where we retrieve back and try to look at it from a neutral perspective. In looking at it from a neutral ground, you see the truth in that thing. But if you are looking it in for your own advantage, you're just looking it because you want to say
judge.
I am the right, or to judge, to be judgmental.
Yeah.
The truth, you will never see it.
You will never see the
exactly.
truth.
So
right.
Most of the time, step out and look at it from a neutral perspective.
So basically, stepping outside your relationship and looking in the relationship,
as if you are neutral,
right? Okay.
And you'll be able to, be able to see the things exactly,
right?
And the same thing also with hearing, listening to hear. You understand? I think one video we made mention of that, where people just want to listen. You just want to hear, just to talk back, not to listen to. You are not hearing, so you're not listening. Yeah, so that you understand.
Yeah.
If you listen carefully, you'll be able to understand her perspective or her perception, and then you know where she's coming from, and that's will determine your response. So, but if you are just listening in order for her, just let her just finish, so that you whatever.
Right.
Then So all of this thing, when we put all this in together, those trusts, we build trust, we build respect, we build maturity. All of this is we build a strong foundation through which your relationship will be built upon, and you move on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys have gotten something out of this segment. Make sure you do subscribe if you haven't subscribed. As y'all can see, that this channel is relationship talk. So if you know anyone that needs to hear some of the things that we topics that we bring up, given from us, or from other people, viewers who may ask if we can talk on certain topics. And if you have any topics, please DM us on WS Vibes TV or on our Instagram, WS Vibes TV. We are going to have our next video. We're going to be discussing of what we've learned about past relationships, like where you are now at your age. If you could write in a journal and look back at your past,
what have you learned?
What would you say to your younger self? Of what you have learned. You have an inner child in you. What would you say to your inner child of lessons that you have learned? If you would have known at before, what would you've done differently? But like I said, like Wisdom us always say, that life is full of lessons. So don't have any regrets. You just learn from them and live in the present, live in the moment, and move on, because everything is a teacher to us. Everything teaches us. Relationships teaches us. Our day-to-day people that we come in contact with teaches us. When you on your job, whether you are entrepreneurial, that there's always something to be learned. Always. We're always evolving.
That's right.
So that's what our next video is going to be about. So please make sure you hit that notification button so you'll know when that video is coming out, which is going to be right after this video, about a day or two. And comment, and in the comments discuss, have you had any trust issues? What could any type of advice could you give in the comments to someone that's watching this video and that read the comments? What advice can you give to them if there are any trust issues? Okay. So thank you for watching us.
Thank you. We appreciate you watching, and till we come your way again,
we love you.
Stay cool and keep the good vibe up. Bye.
All right, peace.
Cheers. One love.